Well, as we all know, the air quality in Chicago is slowly getting better than it was over the past few days, but it's still not great. In fact, it's the worst we have ever seen over the last few days. And health experts say on Tuesday, if you had spent the entire day outside, it would have been equivalent to smoking 10 cigarettes. It's not something to take lightly, but how do we protect ourselves? Dr. Shikha Jain with UIC Health is joining us once again this morning to give us some tips on how to deal with this bad air quality. Good morning to you, Dr. Jain.
Morning, Sylvia. Good to see you.
You too. Well, you first hear 10 cigarettes a day with an air quality index of 200 plus. That's crazy. But this is pretty unusual. So if it's only a day or two or three, is this really a big concern?
It's a great question. So it is a concern, especially in the short term, for people who have underlying heart disease or respiratory problems. It puts you at higher risk for having a stroke or a heart attack, having an asthma exacerbation or an exacerbation of your emphysema or COPD. But then the other thing we need to remember is this may be the first time this has really happened in Chicago, but with climate change, with these forest fires, the real concern is if we continue to see these things happen, if we see them happen more often during the year, we're going to be putting ourselves at risk for even more long-term complications like cancers, long-term heart disease, long-term respiratory problems. So short-term can cause short-term problems, but if we see more days like this, then we're concerned about long-term chronic problems as well.
Yeah, that's such a good point. You know, we hear about other countries that deal with bad air quality all the time. This is new to us. You know, but the question is going to remain, are we going to be seeing it more often? So with that in mind, let's get right to tips to prevent from being exposed that were provided by the American Lung Association. And that includes those that are here. Give us a little bit, break it down for us and tell us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, these are really good tips. So keeping your windows closed and staying indoors as much as possible. I've been keeping my kids and my whole family inside, using an air purifier inside your house, wearing a mask outdoors, but not just any mask, wearing those N95s that we got so used to during the pandemic. You really want to have a good seal because you want to prevent those tiny particles from getting into your respiratory system and from preventing it from getting into your bloodstream. And really, like I said, staying inside and keeping the windows closed as much as you can to avoid the bad air that's outside.
Okay, so let's talk about a combination of things that are going on. Let's start with allergies, because I think I've seen the mold and grass counts have been kind of high over the last few days. Add that, first of all, to the air quality, and what does that result in?
Oh my gosh, it's causing allergies to be out of control for some people. You see people with their eyes stinging or rubbing. You're seeing people who are having more respiratory trouble, more sneezing, more coughing from the irritation of these particles in the air. And then people who have asthma and also have other underlying conditions like asthma or respiratory issues are having even more trouble with their breathing. So this whole bad air quality thing can really impact allergies, allergy symptoms, and it can impact really all of your organ systems, all of the systems in your body. So it really is quite a problem and quite a challenge for people who, even those who have, mild allergies at baseline, may be having worsening allergy symptoms right now.
And I'm hearing too that the 4th of July fireworks may be a contributing factor for a problem. And then I'm wondering, with NASCAR here and the racing, are all these things that add to the situation we're currently dealing with, or are they so minor it doesn't have as big of an impact?
Well, in Chicago, we have a lot of cars out there. So the million-plus cars that are driving contribute to the pollution that happens that decrease our air quality. So I think these short-lived events like NASCAR and the 4th of July fireworks, they may cause some problems in the short term, especially for people who are at the events. So if you're at the events, make sure you're wearing a mask. Make sure you're looking out for symptoms like feeling dizzy or having headaches or feeling fatigued or having breathing problems. So I think that those types of events will be more of a challenge in the short term, and really more for the people who are at the events. NASCAR, it sounds like they're trying to do a really good job of blocking off the area and making sure it doesn't impact the entire city. So my hope is that it's going to be a short-term problem, mainly for people who are in the vicinity. But I guess time will tell. We'll have to see after the fireworks and after the NASCAR event to see if it really does affect people more globally in the city.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for your tips. I know I've been wearing my masks outdoors lately again. I had to dig it back out. So we appreciate you joining us this morning. Stay safe. Have a great holiday as well.